All right, that will do it for the first half. First half in the books. We are all tied up at 59. Kings and the Pelicans tied at 59. A back and forth first half. Very, very fast paced first half that had the Pelicans shooting 60.5% from the field to the Kings 56.1% from the field. 3-point percentage 56.3% for the Pelicans. Got 52.6% for the Kings. Kings free throw percentage only 60%. That's a problem. 3 of 5. The Kings need to get to the line a little bit more in the second half. Some other stats that really stand out: rebounds, Kings being out rebounded by 4. That just shows you the length that's bothering the Kings right now. We'll get into that in a second. In terms of everything else, a pretty clean first half for the most part. Surprising for the Kings. And in terms of their leading scorers, the starters that were scoring that you wouldn't expect, Davion Mitchell. Davion came out, played a pretty good first half offensively. Davion with 12, Davion with 11, Huerter breaking out so far. Still 12 points, 6 points from Keegan. He shot 2 threes, hit those, even though he's 2 for 6 from the floor. We've got 8 for Barnes, and Sabonis only was 6. Sabonis was 6. We talked about length coming into this game, and it's bothering the Kings. Definitely bothering them. We're already getting some score predictions. We'll put those up in a second. Davion, not a number 1 point guard. Yeah, I mean, we've had that conversation before in the past. Talking about not enough free throws. Absolutely. This team's got to get to the free throw line a little bit more. Certainly this team's not as dynamic without Fox, Roberto. That De'Aaron Fox is a top 5 point guard in this league, arguably top 3 point guard in this league. So as for the Pelicans, we got, let's see really quick as we're going fast paced, Brandon Ingram leading the way with 14, Valanciunas 11, CJ McCollum playing some pretty good basketball, only 7 points there in the first half. The Pelicans, we talk about them getting going with the 3 ball, right? They did that in the first game in New Orleans, and the Kings have let them get open opportunities. We're looking at Malik Monk. I see some of the comments in there about him. Monk's no points first half. I think he'll get going. I'm not too worried about that, but this is a couple games in a row that Malik has been struggling. Hola, Eduardo. Thank you so much for joining the halftime. I didn't even introduce myself. I am Ryan in Sacktown. Grant is off tonight. I will be here for post-game coverage as well. Going to have Connor joining me, Sea-Dog 25. Okay, so I want to talk really quickly about the length. If you notice, the Kings have had success on offense when they're starting their offense just in front of the 3-point line. So when Sabonis is getting the ball right there, they're able to negotiate a little bit better and get, better cuts, straight line drives. Lyles did that a couple times in the first half. But conversely, on defense, that has been the problem for the Kings. And I know we talk about the Kings not really playing much defense, but the times that they have not allowed New Orleans to initiate their offense right on the 3-point line and they've pushed them out a little bit, then that has been when New Orleans has struggled and the Kings have gotten stopped. So the Kings need to extend that defense out a little bit more and pick up those guys and do that same thing that New Orleans is doing to them, because the length is clearly bothering the Kings right now, New Orleans length. So give me your thoughts on the first half. Yeah, everybody, a lot of people talking about Monk MIA. We'll see. Again, it's going to come down to the Kings getting their offense going and initiated closer to the rim. They're getting pushed out. And even when they're coming off of those, when Sabonis has the ball at the top of the arc, when they're coming behind him and setting that screen, the guy coming off the screen is being pushed out because of that length. So, yes, Grant is off today. I am handling the duties. So, thanks for being here. Grant will be back for the Knicks games. Yeah, both teams only shot 5 free throws. It's got to be more physical. The Kings, Sabonis, not scoring a ton. It's there for the taking. Him and Valanciunas, they know each other very, very well. So I would expect to see a little bit more from Sabonis in the second half. All right, so let's go ahead and start getting some predictions for the second half. Thanks, brother. Yeah, I told the story in the first half about that. So go check that out. You can go to YouTube if you don't like that. Yeah, it is correct. It's an offensive game. The turnovers, not too bad. Not super worried about him. Again, I'm more worried about how the Kings are defending and where they're starting their defense, and also where their offense is starting in the half court. And when we speak at the half court, that's something that the Kings need to start doing just a tiny bit better, because when New Orleans is making shots, that's forcing the Kings to play offense in the half court. And especially with Fox out tonight and Davion running the show, you don't want to have to play half court offense. They need to get out and run a little bit more. That is their specialty. Yeah, PJ. Yeah, they have great length, but Coach Brown isn't playing them tonight. Or has not played them yet, I should say. So that's going to be up to Coach Brown. They will have to switch something up at some point. So, all right, we got your score predictions coming in. We've got Kings 132, Pelicans 128. Let's see. We've got, we just did that one. Kings 132, 128. Stay hot, Kevin. Kevin is in a zone for sure. Grant too. Thanks, John. I appreciate it, but that's a tough seat to fill. But thank you very much. So again, we'll be back at the at the end of the game for post game. Sea Dog is going to join me. Jay, what's up, man? 122, 117 Kings. So Jay thinks that it's going to be a little bit lower scoring. Zach, we got 119, 115 Kings. Trey, we've got Kings 118, 115. So everybody kind of thinks this one's going to be close. And I'm with you guys. I think it's going to remain close, and the Kings will ultimately pull away. John 123, 119. All right. While we have a second, wanted to let you know about Bennett's Kitchen. Bennett's sponsor of the show, huge Sacramento Kings fans. They have locations in Roseville, Sacramento, and a third location soon to come in the Blue Oaks Town Center. Bennett is whatever you want. They have prime cuts of steak. Amazing. I'm telling you, amazing seafood. The redfish. Tell me where you've seen another restaurant with redfish. And sauteed spinach, one of my favorites on the menu. I know Grant loves that one too. Brian Bennett and his team, again, big Kings fans, supporters of the show. Go check out Bennett's. We promise you won't be disappointed, and bring your appetite. They've got some great portions. So again, Bennett's in Roseville, Sacramento, and a third location soon to come in Rockland in the Blue Oaks Town Center. All right, we're getting closer and closer to the start of the second half. We can go back and kind of talk about the Kings and their point production at this point. There were some mentions on the broadcast. Yes, I did have it on for a little bit. I ultimately had to mute it. We'll just leave it at that. That Keegan is not getting as many looks because Kevin Huerter is getting more looks, shooting the ball well. No, Kevin was getting a lot of looks still when he was not shooting the ball well. So that's not the case. The Kings aren't getting as many possessions right now. So that's what they need to get more of, and that's going to be getting out and running. What is with all the Jim Rome stuff? The Rome code. Where's the promo code? Okay, sorry. I did get a new computer. I can read, by the way. Just had a smaller screen, so I got the new one going. Don't know how. Let's see. Don't have fourth quarter Fox. Yeah, they don't have fourth quarter Fox. But one thing this team's shown a lot of times, especially in their victories, is somebody else will step up. The way Huerter's shooting the ball right now, I think he's going to be big in that. Sabonis, let's look at the positives there. Sabonis only has 6 points. I know we want to see him have more, but it's only upside for Sabonis in the second half. No more easy baskets. Want to see some playoff fouls? Yeah, they've got to get physical. That was part of the problem against Minnesota as well. Minnesota out physicaled them. Tonight, I go back to, and I ask you to watch this. Watch where, or not Minnesota, but watch where the Pelicans are initiating their offense when they're being successful in the half court, and watch where the Kings are getting stops. Two different things. Kings are getting stops when they are pushing them past the 3-point line, and vice versa. On offense, the Kings need to start their offense inside the 3-point line because of the Pelicans' length. It's giving them fits right now. So, and that all goes to physicality as well. Talking about Mike's coaching. Well, Brian, we've seen, Mike goes with who he thinks it's a matchup league, right? So he's going to go with whoever he thinks the best matchup is going to be on that night. And he's a big practice guy. Whoever he sees that is actually practicing well and doing what he wants to see in practice, he gives them minutes. So got another Huerter message here. The fact that Huerter is playing much better gives me confidence that the Kings will win this game. Yeah, absolutely. And Kevin's doing a little bit of it all. It doesn't always show up in the stat sheets, but he's guarding hard. He's denying somewhat on the wing, and he's got a good little two-man game with Sabonis going. Let's see what else we got. Your sound volume is my sound is low. Thanks for letting me, Jeff. I am committing the number one NAPES rule, which is always speak like somebody is across the room. So I apologize for that. Is that a little bit better, Jeff? All right. This team is performing well while Fox is out. Win or lose. Yeah. You know what? Let's think about that for a second. It was earlier this season. If Fox was out of the lineup, it was an automatic loss. Up until he was out with the wrist injury, they had only won one of, I believe, 4 or 5 games. And in the games they've been playing without Fox, the team has not looked lost by any means. In the ones they lost without him, they look lost to me. So that's actually a really good point. They do look comfortable without Fox. So great point by you guys. So, all right, we are getting closer and closer to the second half. Again, tied ball game, 59-59. A lot to look forward to in this second half with the Kings and the upside. It's not a game where Sabonis has scored a ton, so expect him to get going. Mitchell is contributing on the offensive end. We can't ask for anything more than that. So very good. All right. Again, I want to remind you as we get closer to the tip of the second half, seeing them coming out to warm up now, go check out Bennett's. Again, one of our favorite restaurants, the show's favorite restaurant for sure. Locations in Roseville, Sacramento, a third location soon to come in the Blue Oaks Town Center. Prime cuts of steak, great seafood, a big menu. They have Sunday brunch, big portions. Brian Bennett couldn't be a nicer guy. Him and his team are big supporters of the show and the Kings. So go say hi. Tell them Grant and Rhino sent you. Bennett's, Roseville, Sacramento, and soon to come in Rockland. All right. So we've got your predictions. The second half is getting ready to tip off. Don't forget to join us for pregame. Grant will be off pregame, but C-Dog 25, as you know him in the chat, Connor, will be joining me on the post-game show. So come check it out. Kings getting ready to tip off. Thank you so much for joining me. Ryan signing out, coming in for our landing. So long now.